Alright, hopefully everything is working. Hopefully. Possibly. Can neither confirm nor deny. Alrighty. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as I constantly continue to make a mess of my room. Classic. Sorry if there's a mess in the background because I've not cleaned my room yet. I know. Just had a bunch of stuff that I brought in here, but oh well. Um, welcome everyone. No, it's been a while since I've made a video or you've heard from me in a while, and more or less the reason for that is because there hasn't really been a whole lot to talk about with the weather. And the reason why I say that is because, and this is from my perspective, and I'm sure you guys could at least see where I'm coming from, is when we start to transition into winter here, right? It's the same old to where we look at precipitation like rain or snow, and if it's not like severely impacting people, it's kind of repetitive, and it's almost as if, I'm constantly creating stuff, videos more or less, when nothing's happening, especially if it's going to be like every single day to where, it's just the same exact thing, a broken record, and more people more or less probably wouldn't follow and stuff like that. Now, I do admit, should have probably made one or two videos within my absence, but I'm back here now, and really what I would do in this instance with winter, and this is what I'm going to be doing from now on, is similar to how Tropical Tidbits does his videos with his time schedule, is that when something is going to impact the people, in an actual bad way, stuff like that, then I'll make a video on it. So like, with Tropical Tidbits, he would see the potential for a tropical system to form, and he would make videos about it. Well, this is going to be the same thing for me here. I'm not going to make a whole lot of videos in winter unless if there is a severe weather event slash winter storm that's going to be, blindsiding everyone, or if something important comes along. And the threshold for winter weather and stuff like that is, it's got to be something that's at least over a foot of snow, because, it's similar to rain. You've seen rain once, you've seen them all, and there's some instances where, rain doesn't even, get into a big giant flood. It's the same thing with snow. Sometimes snow doesn't even, precipitate on the ground. So it's one of those things to where I really got to pick my spots, and I don't want to be super repetitive. So I'm going to want to tell you guys, to make sure you have notifications on for whenever stuff does happen, because if there is stuff that it does happen, then I'm going to be the at least one to tell you if it's going to happen, because I don't want to be conspiracy theory channel. I mean, the thing of it is that I've seen with most people nowadays is that they look at the models like super far out in the future, and then there's like, okay, it could happen, but it definitely probably won't. And that's kind of like a bit of conspiracy, right? Where I want to give you guys at least truth when I talk. I give you my thoughts, and then I try to give you the truth of what's happening, even though it's kind of hard to do so with weather. So, I really want to try and stay consistent with this channel of, it's not just about me as the show. This weather, I want to make the weather here the show. All right, I want this to be the main thing that you come here for this channel for. All right, and so I'm not gonna do any conspiracies and stuff like that. I'm gonna just go straight into the weather, talk about whether or not there could be like a big snowstorm, big blizzard, or big severe weather from now until most likely when severe weather starts to ramp up again in the spring. But the thing of it is here is that we actually do have severe weather that's going to happen at the end of this week. And this I'm a bit concerned about, because I've been watching from afar. I've been trying to see what exactly has been happening here with the atmosphere. And a lot of people have been saying that if the pattern keeps up from what's happening here in winter, we might potentially have a very active spring with severe weather. Now, of course, my philosophy is I'm not going to say anything until we at least get into the next year, but that's what other people are saying. And I do kind of agree is that if nothing changes right now, there definitely could be an active series of severe weather in the spring. But for right now, we have to deal with what's going to be happening later on this week. So let's get started here with our YouTube live stream here. Talk about weather for once, you know? And first things first, I gotta say, for people who don't know what this is an interactive satellite that I purchased. This is going to be featured from now on my live streams. Or even in some of my videos, and I'll try and see if I can go full screen here. Here we are. This looks very similar to another program that some of you might know of, like GR2 Analyst, except here, all right, this is a subscription program. So this is GR Earth, and GR Earth can work really well with GR2 Analyst. I love this program so much. It only costs $280 a year, so as I said, it is a subscription, but the thing of it is that if you've already bought GR2 Analyst, which does cost $250, and you want something that is on the bigger picture as well as interactive map, GR Earth is a very good program to use as well. What I'm using right now is the infrared satellite, which I customized. I got a custom color table here, and you guys can see pretty well this entire flow of the atmosphere. I know some other applications can have weird color tables. I purposefully, and sorry if Levi, this is copyright of any sort, but looks very familiar here. I'll just use for an example of the infrared satellite imagery from Tropical Tidbits, and I thought that just looked absolutely wonderful. Probably the best infrared satellite imagery color table out there. And so I'm like, why not? Let's put that on here. And it looks absolutely amazing. It helps me distinguish as to what exactly is happening in the atmosphere. And hopefully it does for you all too. So you can see here, there's a couple snow reports up here towards Minneapolis, into the general vicinity of Minnesota and Wisconsin. A lot of snow residing over there, especially into portions of Ontario as well. Big trough that's starting to dip in here with a low pressure system that's all the way up here into portions of Greenland, and we can actually zoom out to see that. Look at this giant low pressure up here, heading up towards portions of Greenland, I should say, because there's Greenland, and here is this massive low pressure system that's just spiraling out of control. And what's going to happen here is there's going to be a new low pressure system that's going to dip down in. We're going to have the remnants of this low pressure system, which is just off of the coast of Los Angeles here in California, and then we're going to have another low pressure system which is going to come down here into portions of the central United States. And this is where things get really active, because what's going to happen here is as these two merge, where this low pressure system basically combines with this other low pressure system that's out into portions of the northeastern Pacific Ocean, that's basically going to start forming this big severe weather risk, which is going to reside somewhere over here across the Mississippi River, from the Mississippi River Valley into the Midwest and the Ohio River, all the way down towards the Deep South. And it's going to be kind of crazy to see specifically as to where this is going to line up, as well as how much energy there is. And we'll get to that here in a second. But first, Mark, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really do appreciate it, my friend. I really do appreciate all the support that you guys have for me. But yeah, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, so this is a good idea as to what's happening so far. I'll turn on the general radar here and turn off the GOES satellite imagery here for a second so you guys can see the general United States radar across the board. And if it loads, you might be able to see what exactly is happening. But yeah, you can see just general residual snow showers, more or less. that's just kind of residing over the area. And we also have some reports of just a general, I wouldn't say a general dusting, but about 5 inches of snowfall recorded here south of Minneapolis. So a lot of snow from that residual low pressure there. And then you can see, of course, near Los Angeles, you have the remnants of that surface low pressure system. But let's head on over. Let's head on over to the models here. And I think the best model here to use in this instance would be the European model. Let's actually go over to Weatherbell. We can actually see it. This is my thumbnail image for today. But let's take a look at the moisture levels for right now. Actually, you know what? I retract that. Let's go over to the 500 millibar wind shear here, just to get an idea. And then let's go over to this. We do not have an image up there for whatever reason. Actually, I can just move that up there. Boom. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Totally easy. Let me fix that. Hopefully. There we go. And then we'll just play it so that you guys can see what's happening over there. That was terrible. There you go. Boom. All right, now we have the general satellite for that general area. Judy, thank you for the $15 super chat. I really do appreciate that. I really do. So here we go with the 500 millibar wind shear. And just like what you guys all saw on the satellite imagery, we have a lot of wind shear that's practically covering the entire United States here and portions of Ontario. I mean, there's just, look at this massive area here. All of these colors is wind shear. And this is all just pushing all these clouds through and through out towards the Atlantic and the eastern portions of the States and Canada. And here we go. We have this ridge that's starting to develop over here with a surface low pressure system inside of that. And next to this ridge here, what you'll see here in a couple of seconds is things will begin to start to move further and further to the point where you have this other low pressure system here that starts to develop right about here. You can see the ridge is fully moved off. So here's the ridge, and then this is where the low pressure system came in. You have this area of enhanced shear right along there in Oklahoma. And then it starts to really enhance itself through. This will eject and push on about. And then this other surface low pressure system that starts to form off the coast of California. Watch this as this curls up through the United States here. This low pressure system then starts to massively shear off, becomes excess wind shear here for this new low pressure system that comes through here into Canada. And this is the area to watch. Look at this enhanced wind shear here across the board, a lot of which are in upwards of 90 knots, which is about 105 miles per hour. About, what was that? Specifically in the atmosphere, 500 millibars is about 6 kilometers up in the atmosphere. And so we got a lot of activity here that really just wants to kind of erupt, especially from Friday into Saturday. And you can see how earlier, this is, Friday evening here at this image, you can see there's a lot of widespread wind shear, and this could possibly favor some severe weather down here in the southern portions of the states. But then as this gets closer and closer to the morning on Saturday, let's see if we can get a better 12Z. Here we go. Get into morning and then the afternoon. Look at this wind shear. It absolutely erupts. You have a massive line of wind shear here, and then you can see this little line that kind of separates from the big wind shear and the little wind shear. And this is where most of your severe weather could potentially be, along this giant line, which basically means that areas here from Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, hold up. That scared the crap out of me. What GR Earth does now is that it has audio alerts so that it could tell me, you know what? I'm going to just turn on my background so that you guys can hear whenever I hear it, because sometimes it scares the crap out of me, and so you guys get scared too. I'm just kidding. But I turned down the volume so that you guys can hopefully hear it as well. There we go. So yeah, this entire line, as I was talking before I got rudely interrupted by my program, you can see here this entire line that goes all the way up the coast. And these areas here are the ones to watch, especially along the lines and further east of it, because that's where what is basically going to be impacted. Areas down here in the southern portions is going to get that severe weather. Areas in the northern portions, especially further along towards the Great Lakes as well, and portions of Ontario and Quebec, they're going to get a lot of snow over there too. So let's take a look real quickly about the dew points here. Let's take a look at the dew points within the same area. And this is on Saturday. This is Saturday afternoon. You can see how wide the dew points actually span into the United States. All the yellow areas, more or less, is the ones that I want you to focus on. Because if you can see at the bottom part of your screen, the yellow dew points is 60 degrees or above. And that's kind of the ones that the frame of dew points where anything there and above that is favorable for severe weather. So we have that. We have this massive cold front with the dry line behind it. Massive cold front elongating dry line, more or less. That's just going to surge on through. And this is really going to create a lot of strong damaging winds and tornadoes, potentially. I would not be surprised if we saw a tornado outbreak from this either. And if we go back to the day prior on Friday, you can see here, this is Friday evening, about 4 p.m. Eastern. So let's go 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. And you can see this massive area of high dew points across the board here, which is really going to kind of create the moisture content that's enough for severe weather to reside within this area. And that's the reason why I say areas here along the Mississippi River is really going to have to watch out, and even up into portions of the Ohio River Valley, to where if there's anything that can form along this with the moisture that it has, you could potentially be talking about some strong severe storms that can move on through. And we'll take a look over here at the surface-based CAPE for this area. It may not seem like a whole lot. It may not seem like a whole lot, but for this time of year, CAPE like this will get it done if you have strong wind shear to compensate for it. It's like kind of how some severe weather parameters could potentially make up for the lack of some other activity. So if there's not as much energy, but you still have a lot of strong wind shear, it kind of cancels out. If you have a lot of energy, but not a whole lot of wind shear, it still cancels out. You still get severe weather. It just may not be anything, severely tornadic. It'll just be, hail makers or flooding type, stuff across the board. So it's one of those things to where we have the energy here within this area. And let's actually see, is there any higher amounts of energy before? Yes, there is. This is just the hour prior. We have energy levels that could be in upwards of over 2,000 joules per kilogram. You can see that orange is indicating almost 2,500. So there is definitely some pockets to where there could be some heavy amounts of energy within some of these areas. And I would not be surprised if there is a few thunderstorms that could become supercellular, which for people who don't know what supercells are, they're basically just mega thunderstorms that produce tornadoes. And it's just one of those things to where it really would have to depend upon where the energy is in the atmosphere as well as where the wind shear coincides with it. So yeah, this is a low to moderate and extreme shear event. That is correct. But it isn't all just like straight line. It's all kind of across the board, more or less. I'm looking at something on the side here. I just wanted to see if there's anything there. So let's try and see if I can get a little bit closer into some of these areas, go to the central, and it might be able to help here. Yeah, let's do that. And then let's take a look at the instantaneous flash rate here for a 6-hour average. So you can see at the bottom the color coordinations for what the instantaneous flash rate could be within specific spots within 6 hours. And you can see that over here in the late evening hours of Friday, we have a lot of showers and thunderstorms that create a lot of lightning across the board. And we even get some prefrontal convection over here in the portions of Mississippi and Alabama as well. Now, that may not be severely impactful, that portion of the storm right there. You might get something that's residual from Thursday night into Friday morning. So you could see potentially like a marginal risk or at most a slight risk, but I'd say a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms over there into that portion. But the real risk here is probably going to be Friday first off as this pushes on through. You can see how massive the line extends here as it heads into the overnight hours. And then on Sunday, hopefully here in a bit, if I can find it. I'd have to move over, actually. So let's take a look at the east now. And then, yeah, so Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday it'll start to clear out, but mainly that'll be for like portions of the coastal areas. But Friday and Saturday here is the areas to watch. And I know there's this giant line that pushes on through here on Saturday morning. But the one thing that I don't think this model really gets a whole lot is the Saturday evening event here. You can see how this apparently has a lot of low lightning over here, low lightning content. And I get that there's not a whole lot of surface-based CAPE here. I get that. But I do think that it won't really matter all too much. I think you'll still get some supercells that could potentially be tornadic within this massive line here. So areas here from New York all the way down to Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia, the Appalachians all the way down towards Georgia. This is the area to watch here for Saturday evening. And yeah, as I said, I know there's not a whole lot of energy here. I know there's not a whole lot of energy, but I think you still can get some severe thunderstorms along this line, even with the little amounts of CAPE here. Even with the little amounts of CAPE. And that will translate to potentially some severe and maybe even tornadic weather as well. But from an energy standpoint, it definitely looks like Friday is going to be the day to really watch. I definitely think Friday will be the more intense event out of the two. And you can bet that I'm going to be live streaming that day if all things go to plan. But you can see there's a lot of CAPE there still. Now, I know as of right now, if I can find it, the NAM 12 kilometer is still kind of on edge here. And it's not as accurate right now as it will be in a couple of hours from now, because they're going to be doing a new run. But to get an idea as to where this all could potentially be, you can see that here is the simulated radar. You can see a lot of snow here for portions of Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin, which we'll talk about that in a bit. And then you can see how the line starts to form here a little bit later. Let's see if I can get it so that people can see the time. There you go. So about 10 Eastern, 9 Central. You can see right there a lot of snow, and then there's this line that starts to form. Now, this is a lower resolution model, so it's not getting every single little detail, and that's probably the reason why it's as inaccurate as it is right now. So tomorrow, I am assuming that we'll have the NAM 3 kilometer at our disposal. Hopefully, we'll be able to have a better answer as to where all this will be specifically, and I'll be uploading a video tomorrow, most likely sometime around say 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern. So 4 Central, 5 Eastern would be the time in which I would upload the video. And it'll go more in depth as to which areas specifically could get that activity. Specifically for Friday. Saturday, we're still a little bit out ahead of the event. So it's very hard for me to specifically say who can get what. But Friday, I'll be able to have answers for you all as to where specifically this will be. But I think as of right now, just based off of what I've been seeing here from the Euro, and I'll take a couple soundings for people who are curious about soundings and stuff like that. So if I can find the right sounding, you guys will be able to have the best answers here. So here's the Euro, and you can see the soundings here. What photographs are basically looking at is the wind veering in the atmosphere. And you can see that this wind veers off to the right, which is favorable for supercells. So whenever you see that, that is a concerning sign. And this is a really nice photograph too. A lot of streamwise here with a little bit of veer back veer at the 1 kilometer. But just a teeny bit of crosswise vorticity right there. But that's favorable for tornadoes. If we take a look a bit further down towards Mississippi, we'll see almost the same exact thing, except it starts to curve off a little bit sharper instead of it just all be kind of almost along a line. And you have a lot of energy here according to the Euro too. A lot of energy according to the Cape, which you can see here at the bottom part of the screen. If I can actually pull this over. Not correct here. Let's see about that. That's a little bit better, isn't it? You can tell I'm a little bit rusty, can't you? That will not be the same, because when we actually get to the live stream, we'll have all the special stuff around it. I won't have to change from scene to scene to scene every single time. But you can see that this curls off a little bit sharper, which is a bit more concerning. And then right within here, the area between the red line and the dotted line indicates how much energy there is. You can also see the number of Cape down here. If I can zoom into that actually a little bit better. There you go. You can see at the bottom part of your screen right here, 2,000. And if you've been on my channel for quite some time, you know that 2,000 joules per kilogram Cape is right around what you want for severe weather. You can get away with 1,800. You can get away with 1,600 with potential severe weather over there. But this, according to the Euro, has some pretty high amounts of Cape with the very nice looking photograph as well. So we could potentially be talking about some severe weather there as well. The LCL and the LFC is really low to the ground. About 636 meters above the ground from the surface in that instance. And that's kind of, that's the LFC, I should say. The LCL is 510 meters, which is very interesting there. So we got some really nice looking photographs and SKU-T diagrams that tell me that this could potentially be a tornadic event. Potentially a tornado outbreak. I'll say severe weather outbreak for right now. But, you know, I would get away with saying this would be a tornado outbreak if I said that publicly and admitted it. And it probably could be that way if these same environmental conditions stayed. So, really interesting there for severe weather. And all this, most likely the peak timing of this will be sometime around Friday evening, Friday afternoon or Friday evening. So I will be live streaming that day. And if you want to stay tuned to the channel, I'll upload a video tomorrow on Thursday, and then I'll live stream on Friday. So make sure you turn on notifications. If you weren't here for the beginning of the live stream, I won't be uploading so many videos this year for winter because snow happens a lot, but the frequency and the amounts of snow differ a lot, so that if you only have, say, 1 or 2 inches of snow that falls, that's very comparable to just like a passing light thunderstorm. So I won't really have to talk about that a whole lot because it's not going to be impacting a whole lot of people. It's not that life-threatening. Whereas if there's a ice storm or a strong snowstorm that passes on through, or if there's more severe weather, then I'll make videos and live streams on that. And I'll be trying to get the information out that way. But I'm not going to be making a video every single day or every couple of days like I used to, just to say, hey, there might be just a little bit of rain, or hey, there might be just a little bit of snow, because that's kind of boring, more or less. Not just for me, but for you all. And I want to make it so that my channel will be a channel of informing you guys when there actually could be impactful weather in your area. Not just, oh, you know, big temperature change or big little rain shower coming on through and we got a little thunderstorm. You guys might get rain or something like that. You know, that's a lot for me to do. And it's not very profitable for me and for you all, because it's the same old broken record player. And, you know, I want to make it so that you guys actually get informed by me when the going gets tough. And my standards are pretty low for the quote, when the going gets tough too. So, don't think that I'm gonna just pick a moderate event and just, you know, do that. I'm gonna tell you guys about, you know, the slight risks for the most part, and the enhanced risks and the moderate risks and stuff like that, as well as the big snowstorms. So, Central Missouri, you guys could get some severe weather on Friday. Definitely getting some strong winds throughout that area too. So I'd watch out for Friday as well. What do I think northern Alabama is going to get? I think you guys can get the residual of the strong, damaging winds from the previous night sometime on Sunday morning. Based off of what the Euro says, there's this massive line that's going to push on through, and it's going to be relatively consistent all the way about. So, I would watch out for that if I were you guys. But yeah, this storm here, from a severe weather perspective, is something that we all really got to watch out for. Now, on the other hand, let's take a look at winter here. Take a look at the snowfall. We're going to take a look at 10 to 1 in inches. 10 to 1 in inches. We're going to take a look at the central. Let's go with the 24-hour here in this instance. And you'll see here that on Thursday night, you can see on Thursday, that's when some snow starts to push on through into portions of the Great Lakes. And then Friday morning into Friday evening, there's a lot of snow that starts to form within a short period of time. Let's see if I can get the weather bell thing again for you all, so you guys can see here. There it is. You can see here, late Friday evening, a lot of snow that starts to surge on through. And that's relatively consistent. It's been consistent for quite some time. And areas south of Minneapolis here, maybe even at Minneapolis, as well as areas in southeastern portions of Minnesota, there is some decently heavy snowfall amounts of around 10 inches, maybe more than that in some areas as well. So you guys could potentially get some snow there it'll protrude on forward. Would not be surprised if you guys got that activity. And then if we take a look, if we go to the east, this really doesn't help a whole lot, does it? Let's go to the United States just to see the general giant view. Scroll down so you can see that. There you go. You can see that snow then does push off through Ontario and into Quebec. And then that's really just all the stuff that we got to watch out for the most part. This little small snowstorm that's going to push on through Thursday night into Friday with some residual snow across the coastline of New England. Maybe a slight dusting, but the one thing that I also have realized too, all right, is that when you also forecast snow, all right, we've seen a lot of, say, media outlets, weather media outlets. I'll say that because there's been a lot of them, okay? And my channel's been known for hot takes, so if you don't like that, then that comes with me as well too. But this is me from my perspective, from what I'm thinking, all right? There's a lot of people that are trying to forecast snow really far out. And especially for the Northeast, you know, about a week ago, they're saying, oh, there's going to be a giant snowstorm that's going to push on through. And now it's only forecasted that there's only going to be a little bit of snow, probably a general dusting of 1 to 2 inches. All right. So you see how unpredictable snow is, as well as the fact of the matter of there being an extra characteristic that the models aren't exactly the best, I should say. They tend to make the environment colder than it already is, resulting in more snow, which could even mean that that 10-inch snowfall that I mentioned earlier in Minnesota could be even less than that. Now, I doubt that because there's a lot of cold air and dry air over there, so I would not be surprised if that actually was the case. But my whole point here is that when someone says that there is going to be a snowstorm and it's 1 week out, don't listen to them until it's 2 days prior, because that's when everyone actually knows when something is going to happen. Because if you've seen before on multiple instances, a lot of people are saying, oh, there's going to be snow, or there could be snow here, and it's just hyping you up and saying, all right, I'm going to get some snow. It's going to be pretty cool. That's just, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's one of those things where, as a person of the Mid-Atlantic for most of my life, if someone says that we're going to get snow and it's a week out, I already know we're not going to get anything. Because it's not only just my luck, but I know how the weather works. It's because the models make things colder than it already is. It's almost like I'll see it to believe it. Now, the only time you can actually believe it, as I said, is 2 days prior to the actual event. If people are still saying there's going to be a lot of snow, there's going to be a lot of snow. All right, but the thing of it is you got to pick and choose as to who you listen to, because you don't want to get into the whole hype train of, all right, there's going to be snow. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to get it. And then it doesn't happen and you're all bummed out because you didn't get more than 1 inch of snow. You know, it's just, I hated that. I hated that. I really, every single time as a kid, I always remembered, all right, we're going to get snow. That means no school. Next day came, didn't get snow. Therefore, we had school. I was like, oh my, you know, I was thoroughly disappointed. And the thing of it is people still have not learned how to do this correctly. And it's just one giant hype train. And I'm not about that. So, you know, gotta stay true to it. And it's gotta be one of those things where you got to account for all of it. So, you know, whenever I talk about the Northeast, you'll hear me from now on say, there's going to be a lot less snow than this thing tells us because it's not, you know, the models are cold bias. but there still could be the potential for snow. All right, I'll say something like that. But when it comes down to it, I'm not gonna like get you all on a hype train, because that's just, it's stupid. It's not fair to you all. Not fair to you all at all. So yeah, there definitely could be some snow from this storm as well. Residual effects of snow from Iowa into Nebraska, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Also could be some sleet there as well. Would not be surprised if you saw at least a 1/4 of an inch of sleet. Freezing rain is also potential factor there for Iowa and Wisconsin. Maybe northern Illinois as well. But if you're anywhere south of that, don't anticipate any sort of snow or wintry precipitation. You know, anywhere north of that, that's when you guys can start to get into that consideration. Do I own my own NOAA weather radio? Yes, I do. I have mine over there. Yeah, I cut it in half. I always just like try not to take the whole precipitation unless if I have something else. Leave the hype trains on Twitch. I know, right? So, yeah, let's open it up to questions before I continue to talk about what else is happening here. And I'll even show you a bit more of my program here with GR Earth, because I love this thing, and you guys are going to see this a lot more often. You guys are going to see this program a lot more often. But I love this program for 2 reasons, all right? One, it has everything that GR2 doesn't have. And 2, if I right-click, if I have a tab open with GR2, all right, I have my GR2 tab open right here for Sterling, Virginia's weather radar, which is right next to Washington, D.C. I can change that radar to wherever I want with GR Earth. So let's say I want to go see the snow up here, and I want to take a look at Green Bay's radar, all right? I go local with this, with GR2 Analyst, and you'll see here in a couple of minutes, boom, it changes right to Green Bay. And I can actually see all the stuff that's happening up here. And there you go, you can see the snow, which is pretty cool. So whenever stuff happens there with severe weather, I can easily change it here with GR Earth. And I can do all sorts of stuff. Oregon's getting pounded by earthquakes? Oh, I've heard. Oh, I've heard. Can I send Detroit some snow? I don't think that's how that works. How much does GR Earth cost? So the thing of it is this is actually a subscription, which is $180 per year. But this is what it has here. Any tornado threat north of Houston for Friday? There could potentially be some. There could definitely potentially be some. The only issue is that I don't know how far south it'll actually extend until tomorrow. But there is definitely enough of an environment for you guys to actually get some activity. And I'll actually show you here. While I show you what could potentially happen, I'll show you with the models here. Let's go GFS. Let's go base reflectivity, because I said so. This is what, the 10th, correct? So we're going to want to take a look at the 18Z. Here we go. You can see the low pressure system up there. Let's go with the overlays as well. Model overlay. And how do I want to run this? Yeah, MSLP is good enough. So this is basically just, it tells me what the pressure in millibars is. So you can see the low pressure is expected right here according to the GFS over Kansas City. And then down here, you can see some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the board, especially north of Houston as well. Let's see. Cape values, there is some stuff there as well. There is some decent amounts of Cape here, according to GR Earth. So decent Cape values. Yeah, this is the cool thing about the models. You can see all of this stuff. Storm relative helicity from 0 to 3 kilometer. You can see the helicity values here with this. Crap, I messed it up. There you go. So you can see there is some helicity here, north of Houston. There could be some activity there. And then if I wanted to do Cape and overlay helicity as well, look at that. You have the different overlays here too. So this is helpful as well, which is pretty cool. So this is really interesting here based off of what the models say. But as I said, we won't be able to get a better answer until we get a little bit closer to the event. It's cool to see you pop up on WTUS Sunday night. Yeah, I saw Star doing his thing over there. I was like, yeah, I might as well stop by and say hi a little bit. Might as well stop by and say hi. What can we expect in Cincinnati this week? You guys could potentially get some general showers and thunderstorms with some strong damaging winds. I don't think it'll be anything super significant with like strong severe weather, although there is enough energy there for it to do it if it really wanted to, of course. But it would have to be sometime on Friday night into Saturday when you guys can get your activity, because otherwise won't really be all too much of an open window for you guys to get some severe weather. I'm doing well, Mark. The difference between freezing rain and sleet really depends upon how much time the frozen water droplet or the liquid water droplet has been through the warm air in the atmosphere and has went into cooler air. So let's say, for instance, here actually a good way to answer this is this this photograph here, or not this photograph, but this sounding, because this sounding is a good example of this, if I can find it. So give me a second. Here you go. All right, this is a good example. So with this is a freezing rain sounding. So you can see here on the left-hand side, we have the heights of the atmosphere. So 0 kilometer, 1 kilometer, 3 kilometers, right? So let's say our frozen water, rain, snow forms up here at 6 kilometers, and it starts falling down through the ground, all right? Now, what I want you guys to watch out for is this 0 right here, this 0 isotope right here. And what this is this just tells you the temperature in specific areas. So this is 0 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Celsius, 20 degrees Celsius, yada yada, keeps going down. All right, so that's just, you know, like a tilted graph of temperature. That's what the isotope is. So 0 in Celsius is the freezing point of water. And what happens here is as it gets further and down, the red line is the temperature. The red line actually goes over this isotope, meaning that it goes over 30 degrees or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It thaws out into just a water droplet. So now it's just rain here in this specific spot. But then it goes back over the line here and it's below freezing again. So the difference between sleet and snow is how long this water droplet has been, how long it changes from this thaw out process to where it's rain to this freezing process again. So let's say we have our red line here again, and it goes something like this, similar to this. So similar to this right here is freezing, freezing rain, because it just barely got over the 0 degrees isotope line, which means that it has a very small time frame of it freezing. Whereas if it looked something like this, all right, so now it spends a lot more time freezing as you go further down and down towards the ground. So this would turn into sleet more than anything. So it all depends upon how much time it has to refreeze into a frozen precipitation in order for it to be determined into snow, freezing rain, or sleet. So with freezing rain, you have a little bit of time with it going back into the freezing period. Sleet, you have a lot of time. And snow, it just stays within, stays below that 0 degrees isotope. Good question. What's up, Daniel? Hello, hello. Would that work over the UK as we have a storm over the at the moment? I think I have an idea as to how I can help out. So there you go. Is this the storm that you're talking about? Yeah, there it is. This is the storm that you're talking about right here. Here it is. Big giant storm that's moving through the UK at the moment. Big low pressure system with a lot of bands of thunderstorms that are surging about through. Got a lot of cold air behind this, so you could see some residual snow as well. Is there any chance for severe weather in Raleigh, North Carolina? Yes, there is. There is definitely a chance. Will Hot Springs, Arkansas get anything really severe on Friday? They could potentially. I think they definitely could. I would have to say so. But I'm going to have to reapproach that again tomorrow. Tomorrow is when I'm going to get a better answer for that. Have you watched your PA tornado video recently? Nope. Have I? No, I haven't. I have not. But yeah, this is expected to continue to surge on through. All about. And yeah, there's going to be another system that's going to push on through here soon. A lot later on in the week. Probably over the weekend. Probably over the weekend into the beginning of next week is when you guys can get your activity. Sometime, according to this, sometime on Sunday. Saturday into Sunday. So. Will Central Ohio have severe weather on Friday or Saturday? Probably on Saturday. But that's if it has severe weather. That is a cyclone right there. Yeah, that is a cyclone on the GFS. And that's going to go by Australia. You can see the clockwise spin with this. This is so trippy, because usually I would... Yeah, there you go. So there's the clockwise spin with this. Because in the southern hemisphere, they're the opposite of hurricanes. So they spin clockwise instead of counterclockwise. That's pretty cool. And that's another cyclone. If that's even a cyclone. If not, that's a typhoon. That looks like a typhoon. Yeah, so potential typhoon development later on as well. But you see how useful this thing is now? I can go across the entire globe. And I can just take a look at all sorts of stuff. It's very, very useful for me. Very useful for me. And I know I might be looking, you know, like I'm having a whale of a time over here. But yeah, it's definitely really fun to look at. We'll say that much. Wouldn't be possible to get any look in New Zealand since we don't have Doppler here, huh? Well, I mean, you guys do have some radars over there in Australia, if that counts, but Australia and New Zealand is two separate countries. I'm not sure how far it would actually range to get over there, so I don't know. Yeah, New Zealand, the closest closest radar is in Tasmania. So there's no way it would reach over to you all. But if you have friends in Australia, definitely could get away with that. I'm curious here real quickly. Whew! Alrighty, so this is a weather station over here in the UK, and you guys are dealing with that big storm over there. This is a sensor here from, I don't know what that name is, but apparently it's Windy McWindface, which that's classic. And you can see the pressure here in millibars over the past hour. Really low pressure of 950 millibars, which is kind of insane. 950 millibars. So you look at that. I don't know what that is. There's this casual station out here in the middle of... It scared the crap out of me. Sheesh. Casual weather station out in the middle of the ocean. No idea what that is. Yeah, a bunch of just random stuff here, but that's the fun thing about weather is that you can just look at anything you want and it'd just be really interesting. You know, there's just so much stuff that's happening across the board. Now, I wish that there was like some sort of active weather situation for me to show you guys some other stuff that's on here. But unfortunately, don't have that at my disposal. I do have METAR stations that are across the board, though. Hold up. Yeah, look at that. Got temperature across the board, across the globe. Casual New Zealand in 60s to 70s in Fahrenheit. It's pretty cold up here. But yeah, there's all sorts of cool stuff that I get. Dew points, wind gusts, wind chill, heat index. And that's live too. Spotters. I wonder if there's any spotters that are not in the United States. None that I see. I saw a couple in Australia once. Live mesoanalysis. So this is what's happening right now. This is the amounts of CAPE across the area that we can see. You can see there is a lot of energy here in the Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico. A lot of convective available potential energy. So, pretty interesting. And that's not the only thing we can see, too. Here, mesoanalysis. Storm relative velocity is not bad. Yeah, SRH from 0 to 1 kilometer. We can see that here as well. Dew points, temperatures. Oh, that's the dew point. Of course it is. Duh! But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that we can look at here. And it's pretty cool. What about the UK? Yeah, they're dealing with a pretty big storm over there. Pretty big storm. There's eastbound wind. Now, if we go back to the, let's go to the NAM 3 kilometer here. I want to show you guys this here real quickly, because we do have the NAM 3 kilometer at our disposal at this model, or in this program. You can see the quality of this, too. The quality shines here with this as well. And if we zoom forward in time, hopefully. Yeah, you can see all sorts of this stuff here. But the other thing cool is that I'm going to show you all 10-meter winds here. Very similar to Weather Bell here with this. But you can see all the winds here with the models as well, which is pretty cool. So I'll be able to like show you guys whenever there's some strong damaging winds about. So like for instance, here in the Rockies, there's expected to be some strong damaging winds overnight on Thursday. So Wednesday to Thursday, which is pretty cool. And there's just all these nice little things that I can do on here, which is pretty nice. We also have the HRRR model on here as well. So if we wanted to talk about the HRRR, we could. There's all sorts of stuff that we can do on here as well. So, you got the Storm Prediction Center's outlook. If we turn all this off, you can see that there's the general thunderstorm risk right here. You can see the color green or light green. Let's see. Got the National Hurricane Center stuff. So, whenever hurricanes come about, we can still look at this as well, too. I said models, SPC outlook, METAR stuff, meso-analysis. As I said, I can we also have radar on here, but there's other stuff that I can do with the radar on here. So, there was this one time a couple days ago when we had like a severe weather event, a small severe weather event, and it actually showed the rotation over an hour, so rotation tracks. And you can actually see it on here. You can see a couple of the stuff here. Some small areas of rotation from Phoenix City to Montgomery. Sorry for blinding you all. But that was over the past hour. And there was just this giant, you know, this giant swath of all of the rotation. We have that for a maximum expected hail size as well, too. Here's the total amount of precipitation within 12 hours. So this is really helpful as well. You can see the amounts of rain within a certain spot. And you can see here, this is Tallahassee. And this is just to the west of Tallahassee. You can see a little bit of purple here, which indicates about 1 3/4 inches of rain that has fallen within that area. So really interesting there. From that perspective. We also get that same thing up here in places like Canada. A little bit of precipitation over here. Small precipitation in California as well. So yeah. Is there an easy way to explain how to convert your local time into UTC time? Give me a second. There you go. There's the easy way to explain it. We have our UTC time, which is right here. So let's say it's 2Z right now. And because we're in standard time right now, EST, CST, MST, PST, you take time in UTC, which in this case it's 2, and you subtract how many hours from whatever it is. So if you're in Eastern Standard Time, you subtract 5 hours and you get to 9:05 in this instance. Which, how you get that is you just get, there's 24 hours in a day. Because it's 2Z right now, you add 2 and you'd get 26 hours. You subtract 5, you get no, you get 21. 21. Jeez. I'm off today. I'm having a fun time. 21, and convert that from military to just the regular time. That's 9:06. And there you go. There's your conversion into Eastern Standard Time. Now, if we're in daylight time, however, then it's 4 hours because we lose an hour. It's the time of year in which we don't want to wake up, but we have to. Zori, hello, hello. A dumb pan bunny, hello, hello. So yeah. Pretty interesting there. So I'm happy to see that you guys came out for tonight. I'm probably going to go here in a bit. Ever considered making a gaming channel? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And I'm actually thinking about doing that for the winter. Not that I'm going to have a whole lot of time to do it. But I'm thinking about making a gaming channel. And it's gonna be really interesting. I've had a bunch of ideas. My Discord server really wants me to make a Minecraft server that's public for people to join. You'll probably only be able to join it within a specific hours because I don't want, like a whole advantage over people. Or I don't want other people to have advantages over people and stuff like that. So, all about whether it is Matthew following my footsteps. No, he's probably beating up on Ted. I heard them yelling at each other earlier for whatever reason. So that was pretty funny. But probably not. Weather's probably not his thing. But I might get a Minecraft server for my Discord server so that we all be on and play Minecraft. Outbreak is coming out hopefully within a year, and we're gonna play that whenever that comes out. Arma 3. I have a friend of mine who's actually creating a tornado mod for Arma 3, and Arma's really realistic. So we might be doing some storm chasing over there, and even role play and stuff like that. But yeah, Arma's really realistic, and he's creating a tornado mod over there, which is pretty cool. And it might even consist of a little bit of role play as well. Um, but yeah, we'll do that, and then I'll play other games that I want. Like, way back when I used to be a quote professional Fortnite player. I even won a bunch of tournaments and stuff like that. So, yeah. Even though there could be a severe weather outbreak this week and weekend, the SPC doesn't have an outlook for severe weather on the 8-day outlook. Why is that? It's because there's a lot of uncertainty in regards to how everything is portrayed. I think that'll change, though. Tomorrow, I think they're going to put a 2 out of 5 on for day 3. I think that's probably going to be the way to go there. At least I think that's what they would do. So. I still find it pretty funny that um, Jeff Fabiano wants to play Outbreak, which is kind of cool because he's a guy that I thoroughly enjoy on YouTube. What's your favorite thing to live stream on? Tornadoes, snowstorms, etc. Definitely severe weather events. Tornadoes specifically. I wish they were to not happen, but whenever they do, it's always so it's amazing to watch how everything transpires and how I can be able to identify specific things just by looking at radar and how it all goes about. So, yep, severe weather is definitely the way to go here on this channel. And tornadoes, definitely something that I would continue to want to track, whether it's storm chasing, which hopefully I get to storm chase more often, because I do live over in the mid-Atlantic, or on here. Hopefully I'll be able to track them from right here, so there you go. I should play Rainbow. A lot of my friends played Rainbow, but I didn't play Rainbow a whole lot. I had a friend who actually, on the same topic of Jeff Fabiano, is his good friend Bay Area Bugs. I had a friend who played with Bugs on Rainbow, too. And he was pretty good. He was pretty good. So, but I didn't play Rainbow a whole lot. Part of a group called the Dakota County Stormbusters on the game Storm Chasers. If you'd be interested in joining us for a chase sometimes, yeah, I could definitely consider it. Definitely DM me on Discord. If you haven't joined my Discord server already, I would do so, because that's where I hang out. And that's the same thing for new people who are on here too. If you want to join Discord server, go on there. You should play a tornado server on Minecraft. That would be pretty fun if I actually created a server with the tornado mod on it. But yeah, other people got notifications. They joined as soon as I started. So the big thing here though, guys, is that there is expected to be severe weather on Friday. And I'm going to be making a video about it tomorrow and Thursday, and then I'll live stream on Friday. So, if you guys are willing to hang around by that time, then you definitely could. Can I come to your birthday party? I don't know where you live, which don't tell me in YouTube at all. Don't even tell me where you live, more or less, because then I'll actually sound like a creeper. B, I don't know when, and C, I don't know where. D, if it's really far away, I might not be able to make it at all. If you make a gaming channel, you should make a Chell be a pro series. I'm actually decent at Chell. Who knows? Got out of practice. I've been wondering where I've been. No, it's all good. It's all good. Big thing here, as I said, is that there's expected to be severe weather on Friday. And let's actually just have this loop. There's expected to be severe weather on Friday. I'm going to be making a video tomorrow, Thursday, and then I'll be live streaming on Friday, more or less. Because I definitely think there could be a tornado outbreak on that day. Guess the job that want to work at when I grow up. couldn't understand that. Trying to figure out, but anyway, I wrote it. Oh, guess the job that I want to work at. Hint SC. I don't know. You want to be a lifeguard? You want to be a Jim Cantori? I don't know. I don't know. What do I think the spring and summer of 2022 is going to be like as far as severe weather, tornado outbreaks? Because Reed Timmer says it could be like 2011. A lot of people for the past 2 years said it could be like 2011, and it wasn't. The only time that we actually got scared to where it could have been like 2011 was 2020 when we had the Easter outbreak. But in May, nothing happened. In June, nothing happened. In July, nothing happened. It really has to depend upon the actual wind patterns. Rather, like El Nino, sure it, or not La Nina, sure it matters, all right? But if you don't have the active weather patterns to support it, then nothing will happen. But if it had the weather patterns that it does right now, then you could definitely get away with something that could be similar. But I won't say anything until once we turn the year, because it really is just not not entertainable to talk about. Now, Reed's got a doctorate in this field, so he can say whatever he wants. For me, can't really agree right now because it'll sound more or less like the boy who cried wolf constantly. Where am I expecting severe weather on Friday? Mississippi River Valley all the way down to the deep south, and maybe even into portions of the Midwest and the Ohio River Valley, with expected snowfall in portions of Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Wisconsin. So, basically, this area right here. And then snow, this area right here. Now, that's a terrible blue. Let's try that again. This area right here. There you go. Parts of Virginia, too. That would be on Saturday. But there's not a whole lot of energy, so it's not exactly something that I can really talk about entirely. Is Jacksonville, Florida going to get impacted? I don't think they're going to get impacted directly by these significant storms. I think Jacksonville will be fine. But they could get some activity from that line that'll push on through. Sometime, I would say on Saturday night into Sunday morning. But you can see here this massive storm that starts to push on through. I'll zoom it in a little bit more for you all. And you can see here. Oh.
Local storm report snow magnitude measured 3.9 inches.
Did you hear that, guys? Did you hear that? Where was that at? 3.9 inches. It's right there. It was in Wabasha. Here, north of Rochester, Minnesota. So you guys heard that, right? That's what GR Earth does as well. It does these little audio alerts. Now, I'm contemplating, all right? I'm honestly contemplating about just making it so that whenever there's an alert, it just does the little audio thing instead of just, the full text-to-speech. But then again, what do I know? What can you do with a robotics engineering degree for weather? I don't know. There's a lot of things you can do, like make drones, dropsons, robots that go into storms. you definitely would want to try and get into some sort of, well, I would try and get into something similar to something that's going to take brute force and try and get measurements from that same thing. And what I mean by that is what I plan on doing a lot later on in my lifetime, if I either A, have enough money for it, or B, end up wanting to study more, is I actually plan on making this remote control plane or something like that to where I can be able to fly, and it would be out in front of the tornado, and I would just drop like these parachutes, these little drop-ons that would like fly in and float into the tornado. I think that would be pretty cool. So, can you set a custom sound for those alerts? Yep, I can. I actually did that myself because originally with the live storm reports, it actually doesn't do it at all. So, that's another report, but it just doesn't. There's a bunch of them coming in. I don't know why they're not going off right now, but oh well. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, that's something I kind of want to do. I kind of want to just like drop songs into the tornado. Earthquake? Not on my screen. It got crazy in March this year. Those 2 outbreaks. Oh yeah, I agree. I think it'll be a crazy March and April next year, though. I do think it'll be a crazy March and April. May, on the other hand, is an entirely separate story. Is there any job concerning weather using software development? Yes, there is. There are tons of them in the weather. As a matter of fact, meteorology needs more coders more than anything. Hell, I want to hire someone who could make just a simple program for myself, all right? I would literally hire someone on the spot, all right? If someone could do this for me, all right? Because this would help me so much if I were to have a program. If you guys search up weather.im /iambot / or just search up iambot on Google, all right? Search up iambot on Google, and you will come up to this page right here. Now, what this does is this has what's the way to explain this? This takes all the stuff from the National Weather Service, Climate Prediction Center, Weather Prediction Center, and Storm Prediction Center, and puts it out so that all the stuff that it's constantly releasing, whether it's data, warnings, watches, advisories, outlooks, and stuff like that, it all gets put onto this. You can do it from specific sites, so that if I only want to hear it from one site, like say, what's a good example here? If I only wanted to hear the National Weather Service Cleveland, I only wanted to hear what they were saying, I could make a specific channel there and hear all the stuff that they were sending out. So they issue area forecast discussions, climate reports, they issue reports of snow and stuff like that on here. I can go to the specific National Weather Service stuff and they would tell me, right? I can go on to the Storm Prediction Center. So Storm Prediction Center. There you go. And let's go full screen here. And you can see all the convective outlooks. It had the mesoscale discussions or whatever, the watches like tornado watch, severe thunderstorm watch, all the cool stuff here that IEMBot has. You can do audio alerts so that you guys hear that little jingle that you guys can typically hear on my streams and stuff like that whenever something gets issued. But what I want someone to do, all right, and this is what I would hire the person to do, okay? I want them to take a separate, to make a program here from this. You guys heard that jingle here. And I want you to take all the stuff here, all right? So I want you to still do, still have, well, no, actually, I'm sorry. I don't want you to, like, separate it and stuff like that. I want you to take a look only at All Bots Talk. I want you to go to All Bots Talk. And I want you to be able to make it so that I can filter which ones I want to see and which ones I don't want to see. You know? And, you know, we have HTML stuff on here as well. All sorts of stuff like that. So I'm sure you can actually manipulate it or stuff like that. But if you can't and you just have to like read it from like text to text to text, then I could. And then, or you could do that as well. And then what I want to do as well is whenever something specific gets issued, right? So let's say they issue a severe thunderstorm warning right within here, right? What I want to be able to do is instead of the background being like white, I'd like it so that the background is like yellow, you know? So severe thunderstorm warning, something like that. Tornado warning, the background's like red. And then like as soon as something new gets issued, like I can be able to toggle the audio alerts, or I can, you know, edit whatever audio alert I want with that. You know, I can input my own if I want to. And then whenever something new gets put in, so like let's say, you know, another ZFP gets issued, a zone forecast package, right? Whenever something new gets issued, I want to hear the jingle, and then I want to have it so that this message here blinks, like say 1, 2, 3 times. I'd say 3 times probably. Control F. Well, no. You see, the thing of it is that I would then have to scan through everything. So I know that, but I would have to scan through practically everything. What I want here is a separate program. If someone could actually code this, right? Is if they could build a separate program to where I can actually filter all this stuff. You know what I mean? It would just be so much easier. It'd be so much easier for me, maybe other weather YouTubers if they even wanted it as well. And it'd be easier for me to, you know, separate it any sort of other stuff. So, yeah, because I can't do it. I can't code to save my life. I tried it once, tried it twice, and it just was like, eh. So, if I really wanted to learn Python, I'd have to get back into it. But otherwise, I'll have to settle with GR Earth for the most part. But that's what I want. And if I can get that, then just know that my channel's quality would uptrend significantly. Like the quality of the actual stream would be so much better because I'd be updated with specific things rather than just every single little thing. So, yeah. I'm not sure if that made any sense to people. um, hoping it did. There's a massive low pressure system right there, though. Look at that. Inspect element, I presume that's the same thing. It's only just looking at specific stuff. You know? Although I'm sure that people, if they wanted to code it, they can go through inspect element and do it that way, but tornathq.com? What the heck? Oh. Yeah, something like this. Something like that. But the thing of it is that IEMBot's a lot quicker. So IEMBot is a lot quicker. No, if someone's making the program, I'm paying them 100%. I don't care if they say it's free. I'm paying them. Because this is something that's going to change my channel forever. If something like that happens. And by the way, if you guys know any coders, all right, feel free to reach out to them and, you know, tell them to hit me up on my email. My email is hockeyboyin8@gmail.com. You know, if you have any business inquiries, feel free to talk to me over there. You might be able to aggregate the RSS feeds into a reader program and filter them that way. That's what I was thinking someone could do. But the thing of it is that I can't code, so therefore I don't know. But like, look, you see, you can export to HTML there. And I'm not sure if it'll constantly feed into that. Not sure if it will. Upstream version. Live client. Log in anonymously, because I can. But bleep noise. What is this? No. Go away. Cow. Doorbell. EAS tone. Yeah, no. Go away. And then elevator. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this stuff is doing. Remember the Alexandria tornado on stream? Yes, I sure do. Karamaru, hello. Nothing much is happening. I'm just messing around at this point. Because I haven't been able to get on a live stream with you all in a while. So I'm kind of just like, you know, messing around with you all. Sports the current screen you're looking at? That sucks. Well. Huh. Chat with user, join group. Can't imagine. IEMBot project page. RSS feeds of IEMBot messages. Oh my good lord, mistakes were made because it's an XML file. So that might be something to work on right there, maybe. All IEMBot messages are here. Yeah, maybe. Two programs that run on Iowa Mesonet server, obviously. What the heck? Oh, that makes sense. Child abduction emergency? They have that there too. So this tells you everything that's on here. There's even earthquake information. So what is this? Dude, there's so much stuff here that I didn't know was on here. Tsunami information statement. Volcanic ash advisory. Telephone outage emergency? What? Huh? What is this? Shelter in place warning. That makes sense. I don't know what a tabular state forecast is. I have no clue what that is. Excuse me. Ice outlook. Yeah, there's so much stuff here that I didn't even know was on here. Avalanche warning, classic. I feel like the website is extremely outdated, probably because it is. Configure IEM bot to post messages. Oh, that's only on Twitter though. God, stop. No. So, Mary Chrysler. Yep. Mary Chrysler. But yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. I want to have the people go in and do that. That would be great. Don't look at me. I don't know what the cow is. If I had an idea, I wouldn't be up here. uh, yeah, IEM bot monitor. There it is. So that's the actual bot and stuff. You can see the routine pilot report across the board. I guess you could, but hey, that's not something that. There's IEM bot right there. Oh, look at that. That's how it works. It's a collection of stuff. Driving. That makes sense. But yeah, there you go. I think that's how that works. On average, how much does a meteorologist make a month, say? A month? I can't answer a month. I can answer a year, though. Typically, like 80,000 to maybe even higher than that. Unless if you. It depends upon where you work. So if you're in a not as populous area, it might be 60,000. You know, if it's like somewhere rural in the middle of nowhere, it's, yeah, 60,000. But if it's like, you know, on average, some meteorologists in California make $200,000. So it's just like, yeah, it really depends. Really depends. By the way, got my hat in about what, a month ago? A trucker hat, trucker cap. So there you go. Pretty nice. Definitely like this hat. Fits my head really well too. So I always love trucker caps. If I were to buy a hat, that's what it would be at. Yeah, notice how I said on average in California, $200,000. Some meteorologists make more than that, which is kind of crazy. So, What do you think about Reed Timmer's comments about it being a potential moderate to high risk event? I highly doubt it's going to be a high risk event. Highly doubt. Moderate, I could see it, but just the way that things are going right now, I would say enhanced is a safe bet. And moderate, would not be surprised if that would be there either. But an enhanced or a high risk, however, is just bleh. Where in the world would be a high risk event? I don't know. I would say if they were thinking about anything, it would be somewhere over in, say, northern Mississippi into Tennessee and maybe even in Kentucky. But it's really kind of just, I don't know. I don't see it happening. You know, maybe Arkansas, maybe. There's definitely a lot of cape there. We'll say that. But I just don't think, you know, it has enough to really drive this as a, you know, a high risk event. Say enhanced. Enhanced risk is a pretty safe bet for me. Let's see. What does the GFS say? Even though I know the GFS is not going to be that accurate. Yeah, Arkansas, potentially. But I'd watch out for Southern Illinois. Watch out for Southern Illinois. Because there could definitely be some tornadic potential up there. I think if you're going to get some severe weather, it's definitely going to be west of Nashville, and that stuff will push into Nashville. But west of Nashville, east of OKC, well east of OKC. Probably right on the border of Dallas, or maybe even east of Dallas. And from then onwards. So, I don't think Norman's going to get really all too much from that stuff. Don't think OKC, Norman, really going to get a whole lot of stuff from that. But, I just answered that question without even me realizing it. So yeah, Jitiffy. I do think it'll be kind of a bit away from you all. Do 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 do. Another little mini snowstorm there. Ooh, look at this. Look at that sounding. So that is a freezing rain sounding right there. That is a freezing rain sounding. Because you have a little bit of time here. It might even be sleet. Well, it goes right over the 0-degree isotope and then it goes down. Has some time in the cold air. So it might even just be regular snow, honestly. But I think it's going to be freezing rain or sleet. It definitely looks like a freezing rain sounding there. What the heck is that? Yep, nice to be back, Tanner. Nice to be back. Okay, yeah, that is a freezing rain sounding right there. Freezing fog is terrible. I hate that. Excuse me. All right, I think I'm gonna head out here pretty soon. So if there's any extra questions that people may have for me, feel free to ask. Yeah, that is a freezing rain sounding right there. If I've never seen one before, look at that. Warm nose goes right over the 0 degrees isotope, comes back down, and goes back in just for a little bit. You have a little cold pocket of air. Is Dallas off the risk? I'm not calling you guys off officially. I think you guys can get a little bit of activity, but not the main risk per se. Excuse me. Do I think Northwest Alabama is going to get in the slight or enhanced risk? I think you guys could potentially get into a slight risk, enhanced risk. Maybe if it's wind. Maybe if it's wind. Otherwise, iffy. When is Nashville getting a snowstorm? Not anytime soon, my friend. Not anytime soon. Maybe a marginal over southern Louisiana for Friday? I would say so. I think that's a safe bet. Any severe weather risk for southern Louisiana? Yeah, but I'd say it's like a smaller severe risk compared to other risks. I think you guys could get some of that on Friday, and then residual on Saturday. So southern, even southeastern Louisiana, Friday and Saturday. Do I think this could form Siggy tornadoes at night? Definitely think it has the potential, but I'd have to get a little bit closer into the models to see specifically as to whether or not. So yeah, anything else before I head off? Because I'm probably gonna watch something else here in a bit. Because I'm trying to study up a bit more on winter weather. Trying to see if I can get more into like soundings and stuff like that for winter weather. So, trying to learn some more. Is this going to be another nighttime event? No, it'll be like daytime into nighttime. So it'll be both day and night. Day and night. I toss my turn. I toss a turn. Something. Yeah. I don't know the lyrics of the song. Last day in Jackson, the rain came down fast and the wind was fast. Yep. Quite a bit of severe weather that passed through your area too a couple days ago. For Central Tennessee, yeah, I would say overnight into the morning. Yeah, I'd say that much. Got a decent squall yesterday. Nice. Did I hear about the blizzard in Hawaii last weekend? Yes, I did. Thought that was pretty interesting. That's what happens when you're in the higher elevations too. Will there be overnight tornadoes in Ohio on Friday? I don't think so. Or at least I wouldn't think so, but there could potentially be a chance for that. Big enlarged photograph, but just not a lot of cape. Not a whole lot of cape. But definitely could make up for that. But I'd say probably not. I'd say probably not. All right, I think I'm going to head out for tonight. I appreciate everyone who came back to the channel. I know it was kind of all over the place, but I really do appreciate it. So I'll make a video tomorrow afternoon, sometime around 4 Central, 5 Eastern. And then I'll make another video on Thursday at around that same time. And then Friday's when I'll live stream. Tomorrow I will have a lot more information on where the severe weather on Friday is actually going to be. So I would tune into that video tomorrow and make sure you have channel notifications on. You hit that bell. Because if you hit that bell, then I guarantee you'll be able to see my content whenever it comes out. As soon as it comes out, you'll be able to hear it right then and there. So,
Local storm report snow magnitude measured 3.0 inches.
And that's right along the border of Minnesota and where was that? No, that's just to the west of Rochester. So there you go. Got some more snow that was reported. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Alright, so yep, that's going to be it for me. I will see you all tomorrow in the video, so make sure you guys come when you can. Yeah. I'm going to try and not create a bunch of conspiracies like a bunch of other channels. Try not to create a whole lot of hype with it either, because when most people make videos, it's just, oh, there could be potentially snow next week. And it could be, and it's always just this, oh, it could be, and it creates this kind of hype feature because people think, oh, they're going to get snow when they really don't, and it's just kind of weird. Same thing here with severe weather. Is, oh, you could get severe weather, but don't. I just want to make it so that you guys get facts, and you guys know when I know when severe weather arises, so that way you guys can be safe. I don't want any sort of conspiracy or hyping, genuinely want you guys to at least know when this stuff is going to be happening. So, as soon as you guys come to the videos tomorrow, be sure to like it. Of course, tell people to subscribe, share it with friends and family and stuff like that. And until then, I will see you guys tomorrow. So peace out, everyone. If you guys are going to be on my Discord server, I will possibly talk to you all. Possibly. I got to see what else I got to do here tonight. So see y'all later. Pew!